Okay, so the last video showed how you can load video telemetry data and display it and work through it. Now we're going to show how you can load that into your PC crash simulation. So we go through the EDR data. Let's load the EDR file. So if I go back to that same folder, I'm just going to take the front camera and say open. So if you look at the EDR file, there's a pre-crash table. So this has all the data that's in that video file. So there's a lot of stuff here. Now, one aside, what you can do is with a right click, you can copy this table to the clipboard as a CSV file, and then you can do further processing on it and whatever. But just as is, you can export this to a velocity sequence table. And then same with the steering data, you can export it. In this case, I'm driving in a straight line, so it doesn't really matter. You can also go to Update Map. So that brings up the mapping window. And this is the same thing as, let's say you've got some other telemetry data. We've got this window in earlier versions of PC Crash. But you can now apply this for your background. And here, if I close this guy now. So because I just applied it and did not apply the data, using the GPS data, just load it in the background rather than the actual GPS information. But if I go to my sequences now, you see that my sequence window is as normal. If I go to my steering window, it shows the steering data that was loaded. If I go to my velocity window, it shows the velocity data. I can toggle off the acceleration there. So that's the velocity data. And so I can now run a simulation just the same as I would with other EDR data. So you also have the option, if you go into that, back to that EDR, if we go to our map, I could apply data, in which case it would draw a vehicle path with the GPS data, rather than using the steering data. It would still use the velocity table from the telemetry data that we uploaded. So there you go. If you've got a Tesla collision after December 2025 and you've got the video, you may have all kinds of telemetry data that you could load directly in as an EDR or through the EDR interface in PC Crash 16.0.